Travel Guide, Chapter 3. Far in the distance, I hear a faint murmur, like two streams flowing in opposite directions. If this is crazy, you won't be able to teach it to anyone. But if I can teach it, how can I market it? As a therapist, the idea of enabling all our genetically manipulated chimpanzee tribe to simulate healing secretions simply by banging on the black keys is dazzling. As a businessman contributing to my daughter and ex's lifestyle, I filed trademark application in 1986 for the name Maximus to represent my tools for health, therapeutic music, and shows. In the midst of it all, I realize I am not the first composer-performer to utilize transposition. Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart experimented with different piano and harpsichord tunings to change the notes struck by the keys. Imagine the strings of a piano are attached to a wall. As the wall moves, left or right, each keystroke hits a different string. Move the wall one string to the left, transposition +1, and the C key hits the C sharp string. Today, most keyboards have a transpose button. This allows you to move the wall of strings left, transpose +1, or right, transpose +1, through one octave, 12 strings, with a touch of a button. Knowing this enables you and your entire class to play along with any melody simply by transposing the melodic pattern for that keynote to the black keys. Refer to my transposition charts in the previous chapter. Unfortunately for me, piano chords do not limit themselves to the black keys. To play these ragas live, I need to shift the bass guitar, second rhythm, and percussion with the chord changes from my left hand, sending MIDI signals to my right to my rhythm generator. Why playing the main melody with my right hand? The rhythm sequencer on my Yamaha piano made it possible to program the instrumentation and rhythm parameters for the information to be sonified. But an old problem returned. With all instrumentation perfectly responding to each left-hand chord change, something was lost. Listening to these live Computer Man recordings reminded me of a flat studio mixdown guaranteed to cut spontaneity with only predictable patterns of music allowed. By recording student and pro musicians playing live with my performance, the spontaneous random element returned to Maximus music. Once more, this requirement for maximum bioresponse was present in the music. When guest musicians arrived Saturday night, I no longer had to demonstrate what each musical parameter required of them. Now they could easily follow my pre-programmed instrumentation to enhance the musical clarity of each sonification effort. If a player was not in tune with the song's mood, I could turn down his recorded volume and still keep the song's prescribed effect. But enough of my problems. Back to giving black key pattern recognition techniques to others. By placing an ad in the local paper, I am soon conducting interviews with girls desiring to join your local band. All those interested in this unusual music style are able to master the black keys. Some become so musically beautiful that I searched the clubs I played as lead singer for the Beefeaters rock group, hoping to stage my revised tunes. The wondrous thing about a girl in a band is that male musicians suddenly like my music if it impresses her female friends. The politics of an artist's life. With an ever-changing lineup of musicians and club dates, I invest in the new Roland computerized rhythm-generating multi-instrument MIDI-controlled real-time arranger, $1,200. With 3 foot switches enabling greater control during our live shows, each piano keystroke sends MIDI signals to the Roland, which responds with precision and instrumentation following the parameters of each song. Here is a guide for selecting instrumentation according to the response you desire. Instrumentation chart of basic response from the Science of Rhythm for the Mastery of the Sacred Energies on page 38.
Drums and percussion stimulate the base of the spine. Woodwinds, the gonads and intestine. The organ, liver and pancreas. The harp stimulates the heart. The brass seems to have its greatest effect on the throat and lungs, the piano on the pituitary, the knowledge, and strings seem to have the greatest effect upon pineal, eyes, and tiny.
With 400 natural and unnatural sounds to choose from my keyboard's instrument list and 200 instrument options in my Roland real-time arranger, each song took time to program. In my office, I was thrilled by the quality of sound the Roland arranger brought to my music. Unfortunately, this made the previous tapings unacceptable, and re-recording was the only option. Fortunately, the request for copies increased as a result. Next, I apply Roland's research on the world's rhythmic roots to compose the music for Travel Guide. Combining Kepler's tonal latitude charts with indigenous rhythms gave the gravitational keynote for each location's distance from Earth's axis. Like a guitar string from Earth's axis to the outer crest, the longer the distance, the lower the note. The gravitational pull at the equator resonating C goes up the scale as the distance from crest to axis shortens approaching the poles. To be in tune with a place means when you add the location's gravity tone from Earth's axis to your dominant genetic resonance imprint chord, a melodic combination is produced. You should notice enhanced metabolical reactions and stronger immune response in any location melodic with your imprint chord. Since the first note imprinted on you at birth is the sense of gravity, your birth location note is one of the dominant 3 notes in your personal chord. Moving from your place of birth does not alter your imprint chord, but a new location's gravitational resonance note will be added to the music of your day. If your current location's note is unmelodic with your imprint chord, simply add a transition note which sounds best when played with your imprint and location notes together. Transition notes can be added to your resonance with associates, color of clothing, occupation, jewelry, etc. Playing popular rhythms in the keynote of each latitude, the Roland foot switches allow complete breaks of variable diversity, responding to every MIDI signal from my left-hand chords. With these new songs from around the world, the newly programmed elemental seasonal organ and gland jazz ragas, Lovely Susan by my side, and Chris Jameson's rock guitar, the upgraded sights and sounds of Maximus were the featured band on the Bardo Matrix cable TV show. Thanks to Kathleen Bittner's introduction to this stage, once a month we drive down to Corpus Christi, Texas, providing music for his full moon broadcast. Corpus Christi viewer response to Maximus mostly involved guys trying to date Susan. The second most insightful response came in the form of a video mocking Susan and me in a musical skit called Minimus. Bardo took great joy in playing their video on his show. We could easily have taken offense at the diminutive parody of our ennobled efforts had we not been rolling with laughter. Using my live raga jazz with a computer rhythm machine to come up with theme music for each 2-hour Bardo show convinced me that, like Charlie Parker, Dizzy Gillespie, and those who play live jazz, everyone could share the thrilling, secreting experience only accomplished musicians know. Remember, I am a guitar player with no piano training, playing keyboard on a live TV show with only my black key pattern, Sweet Lady, and Guitar Man. Everyone likes our sound and continues to ask us back. So once a month, we drive through the TV studio's security checkpoint, waste no time setting up our sound system, then schmooze with the guests, celebs, wackos, and politicos on tonight's broadcast. I took particular interest in how the text and camera people focused the circus into a show. Beamed to satellites. In space, that signal travels still. Reviewing the tapes from each show, I was dazzled by the way techs used their PC mouse like a paintbrush, flowing color, shade, and imagery through the video part of our performance. Their crash course in video production was about to become useful. In my San Antonio office, I filled the orders for tapes from my 6-month ad campaign in East West Journal. In 1993, this U.S. magazine produced orders for Maximus music from all over the globe. These distant voices confirmed what my physical therapy clients said about the balanced healing effects of my music.